Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this world watching this. I am so happy to have you here. I would love for you to say hello and give me an idea of where and when you're watching this. If you're watching this live, just say hi. If you've given StreamYard permission, I'll be able to see who you are. If not, it will just say Facebook user. But I'd love to hear from you anyway. If you're watching this on the replay, give me a hashtag replay and the same. Okay, so wants versus needs. You're standing in a toy store negotiating with your kiddo because they absolutely need this latest iteration of a toy that they already have at home. Or you're losing your patience with your tween because for the umpteenth time, you're asking them to shut down the computer and come to dinner and are met with the same response. I need to finish this game. Or you're watching your teen melt down because you won't allow them to go to an overnight at a friend's house on a school night. Uh, you just don't understand. They wail, and I need to be there. I need to do this. And even for us, we say it all the time. I need to do this, or I need to go here, or I need to have. Um, so for those of you who don't know me, I am Mary Kerwin, and I help overwhelmed moms, especially entrepreneurs, identify and change the patterns that are not benefiting themselves and their families through my signature program so they can have good relationships with their happy, healthy, confident kids, all while running their own life and business if they have one. So, wants and needs, and why is it important for our kids to know the difference between the two? Let's face it, we all have wants, we're human, and we all have needs. And both of them are important. Say that straight out. But for the sake of this discussion, needs are the things that are essential for our survival and well being: food, water, shelter, clothing, medical care. Wants, on the other hand, are the things we really desire, we wish, but they're not essential for our survival or well being. We'll live without them, although probably not as happily. The problem comes up when our wants become so important to us, especially that we prioritize them above our needs. And this leads to a myriad of problems and negative consequences, which is why it's important for us to teach our kids the difference between wants and needs so that they can make better decisions. And I'm not saying to ignore their wants or push them aside, because the wants usually come with the feelings and emotions, and we have to always we accept our kids' feelings and emotions without necessarily giving them everything they want. And this can be a challenging task, but an important lesson that will serve them throughout their lives. It'll help them develop critical thinking skills. Understanding the difference between needs and wants can have them think and ask themselves important questions. Do I really need this? Do I really want it? Or is it just because everyone else has it? And that can help them in the long run make more responsible choices or weigh the consequences of their actions. It also helps them understand the value of things. Understanding the difference between needs and wants kids can learn to appreciate the things that truly matter to them, and they can also learn to appreciate what they have. So an overall understanding will serve them throughout life. It will also help them as they get older financially, so that they won't blow their money on things that they don't want and be constantly in debt. Um, Sometimes instant gratification, that instant gratification, we want it right now, but knowing the difference between wants and needs kind of tempers that. So, how can we teach our kids? Some tips: start early, and if you didn't start earlier, the next best time to start is now. Paraphrasing somebody. Um, when you're shopping, or when you're in conversation, or when you're doing something, explain the difference, why you need to buy certain items like food, vegetables, uh, protein, um, where you might like the candy and the cake and the cookies, and use real life examples. Um, you when you're going through a store, as in the first example, you have this, and it doesn't mean that they can't have it at all, but maybe you can set up a thing where they have this already, they want the newer version, they could do something to earn the money to buy it, so that it's not necessarily a no, but a not yet, and involve them in the decision making. When you're making dinner, I would always have, not always, not always. When I was having a hard time mostly coming up with menus, I would ask them what they wanted to eat that week, what they wanted for lunch, and discuss what was healthy and what was not, so that we can marry the two, so to speak. Um, Going on vacation, you may ask what they want to do, um, but also that they don't need to do everything that they want to do. That's a want. And practice. This is probably the big one. Practice delayed gratification. Encourage your kids to practice this by either putting it off for another time, or saving it for saving if they're a little bit older, saving up for it, or um I forgot what I was gonna say, I'm sorry. Saving up for, or that it's a not yet, maybe later. You could do this through games, like the peanut butter and jelly rule. When you're talking about making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, what are the things you need to have, but not necessary? Um, um, like, you need to eat food, you need, or you want sprinkles on an ice cream cone, for is a not necessary thing. Um, and always acknowledge that it's okay to want things, and that everybody wants things, but it's important to make sure we have what we need before we have what we bef to not even before, prioritize what we need over what we want. Um, if you're stranded on a desert island, would you want a toy, or a drink of water? And the water is more important. Um, Keep it light and airy, don't get heavy-handed, but keep it ongoing. And use humor. Humor and creative methods can make this very important lesson easier for them to understand, and we can apply it in our daily lives. Um, and if you want more ideas, or if you want some help with this, I will put or the link to schedule a phone call with me will be in the comments, so that we can chat more about this, or any other thing you may want to, which may be a pattern that's not serving you, that we can work on a shift. That's it for now. Ciao, ciao. See you next week or before.